Hey, you. You ever ask yourself, what if Leafy, yeah, Leafy, locked in? Well, maybe you've asked yourself, what if Leafy mewed? Both are valid questions. And lucky for you, the answer is me. I mean, I'm joking because I'm not an incel piece of shit. Y'all know I be. Grab your dinner, open a cold one, spark the lighter, because this video is going to be a chill one. It's going to be a bit different than the others, so I'm just going to talk to you guys. No crazy edits, but just a conversation about me, this channel, and take some time to respond to your comments, because some of you guys are pretty unwell. But to start, I compared myself to Leafy because I don't really know a better way of defining my niche. I mean, you guys like my content, but I mean, why? I don't know. Every video I make, I'm like, there's a 70% chance that was schizophrenia, and I mean, I guess it's settled on my videos kind of being the modern equivalent of a Leafy vid. Insofar as just a guy yapping about things, telling stories, doing shit, and using Counter-Strike as a community for it. That kind of stuff exists on Twitch, but I hate Twitch. You can't use a fucking ad blocker on there, and I'm gonna bring that kind of thing back to YouTube, at least for Counter-Strike. Because as I'm sure you're all aware, the Counter-Strike scene on YouTube is super dry. I mean, in terms of content creation, you have your creative, sure, but you know what I mean. It's not how it used to be. This is the first video you're finding of mine. I've done videos on a bunch of different things, like implementing a custom machine learning algorithm on leaderfight data to find cheaters. I've read and discussed Valve patents, and just recently, talking about general philosophy and life advice, motivational speaking. I've gathered in my time living and playing Counter-Strike, and you guys seem to want to watch it, so make some weird videos on seemingly disconnected ideas, but I filter everything through Counter-Strike. My first few videos, I guess, went micro-viral almost instantly. I knew what I was doing. It was a little rage bait, but I mean that's the formula for online success. Making people angry drives engagement to the roof, but I always try to say something meaningful, and sometimes people miss that. Maybe it's the popularity of Counter-Strike in Europe, and because I'm American, certain things get lost in translation. I understand that. Maybe they just don't fuck with me. I also get that. I could just be inexperienced at articulating myself. See how I just stuttered? Or people go on Counter-Strike YouTube after losing a game, and so they just see me yapping. They're like, shut the fuck up. I get it. Either way, I definitely popped out of nowhere, and people are accusing me of being like an industry plant or some secret agent for Valve. I'm not. I'm just a young brother from California, also a computer science student, who once upon a time put every waking moment into Counter-Strike. And I think about things a lot, probably more than your average Counter-Strike player, and I tend to work a bit too hard. Case in point, back in March, when I started my channel, I literally taught myself how to edit, and no joke, it was overnight, got all those views. I had no idea what I was doing. I still don't, but it was like a kid wearing a suit that got accepted to a job interview. And I deadass spent 18 hours a day just making videos. I mean, that was all over spring break. And I probably do all this shit in the most inefficient way possible. I'm not one of you CapCut frauds. I'll be doing those edits in Premiere. I'm trying to start editor beef now, but it's hard. It's hard work. And because I went 0 to 100 so quickly, I got pretty burnt out with the whole process of doing everything myself, so I reached out to a streamer I really liked and started editing his videos on YouTube for a while. And I think I got a bit better, or at least a bit more efficient, and now that it's summer break, I'm going to start uploading on this channel again. Because obviously, if I don't try and see where I can take this channel, I'll always regret it. Not many people get views instantly, and not many people make videos that people want to watch in the first place, so I have to give it my best shot, and I'll do it all in my own unique way, because I'm just a quirky guy like that. I could probably make a clickbait title, like CS2 cheating blah blah in all caps, and get a bunch of views. But I'm trying to build something bigger, more authentic, because you guys gave me the platform, and why would I want to exploit you for the quickest return on investment? I'm into it for the artistry of it. Not to sound pretentious, but it's just fucking fun. It's rewarding. And my goal is to keep this channel rooted in the Counter-Strike community, but talk about anything and everything, giving Counter-Strike YouTube a sense of community that it might have been lacking all these years, since a certain someone disappeared. And I do gotta stress, I am a much better person than Leafy. It's just a way of describing the feeling I want my channel to exist within in as few words as possible. What if Leafy locked in? It has a certain ring to it. Less Pokemon is X, Y, and Z and more. Hey guys, did you know about this? It's a pretty cool thought. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, I never thought of it that way. And the editing was pretty satisfying. I like this channel. And that's the goal. To do that, I know I need to make longer videos. I am well aware of that. That's YouTube's whole thing, long-form content. And I've been kind of doing the exact opposite. My videos have zero filler. I talk fast to just say the shits into my thumbnail and end the video. It's honestly mind-blowing YouTube is even pushing my videos to the extent that it is. You know, I'm probably the shortest video on your entire homepage at any given time. But I put a ton of effort into these videos, and editing is hard. It takes a lot of time. I'm doing this shit for free. It's out of passion. So before I transition into making longer form content that I do want to make, I would need to reach certain channel milestones, of course getting monetized and then sponsors. If I reached a point where someone is willing to give me $5,000 a video, on God, I would edit that shit like a Tarantino masterpiece. You have my word. Maybe you've heard of this term before, but I want my videos to be evergreen, you know, like the trees. It means they're the type of videos that are always going to be relevant. You know, they could be found 5 years later and still have the same impacts. I don't want to make update reactions or player POVs, all that. You know, I want them to live and continue living. And because I'm a new channel, the algorithm kind of doesn't really know where to put me. But channels like mine do exist, and I'm still getting views, so it's not failing completely. It's just that I'm being recommended alongside pro games and, you know, streamer montages and Twitch clips, Counter-Strike bread and butter. So most people, they see this abstract tone poem about mastery getting recommended, they're like, what the fuck is this? And on top of that, I'm well aware that the large majority of YouTube viewers are just silent enjoyers. I mean, me personally, I don't think I've ever left a comment on a video. Maybe once or twice when I was like 15. I rarely press like, sometimes I don't even subscribe to channels I fucking love. I'm not a good viewer, don't be like me. Because if you fuck with the type of stuff I make, then your little cultivated algorithm, by interacting with my content, would really help YouTube know where to recommend my videos the best. So, in essence, if you're a quirky weird guy but you like Counter-Strike, and you fuck with my videos, and interact with it in some way, you know, like, comment, subscribe, only if you're brave. Because when you do, the algorithm will be like, holy shit, this Justice Bustus guy got YouTube's most mysterious and avant-garde watcher to finally comment. I think that would do something. Out of the way, let's move on to some fun stuff. Reacting to your comments. Now, I will preface this by saying in my first few videos, I got a lot of comments, and most of you guys were great, clever, some critical, but the secret third category of commenter was just pure schizophrenia. I mean, take for instance this guy. Valve trash Nazis, they create this system to make world hate the Russians. I'm not Russian supporter, but their strategy is to create hate against East Europeans and make the world believe they are evil. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't want it to be a political channel, but I mean, imagine Valve has like some secret political agenda to make the world hate Russia. Surely it's not where Monacy's from. This next guy said a lot, so I don't really want to read the whole thing in a video, but it's basically just expressing a lot of frustration over the fact that Valve supposedly allows teams to cheat at Counter-Strike majors, and it's a business incentive for them, that it keeps revenue flowing. I really don't know. I mean, pro players are not cheating at major tournaments. Are there a couple pros, semi-pros that cheat? Maybe. Have they gotten banned? Yeah. So, with that being said, I don't see a world where Valve is making profit off that. People have expressed a similar sentiment, not exactly this guy's, that somehow not banning or banning cheaters somehow generates revenue for the company doing it. And sure, you can say that a dev like Battlestate Games and Escape from Tarkov might only want to take reactive measures in their anti-cheat, not preventative measures, because if they eliminated the possibility to cheat, then no one would get banned, and then no one would rebuy an account. Now, that is still a schizophrenic argument, because what dev would ever want the competitive integrity of their game to be violated? I mean, there's no greater way to kill a player base than just allowing rampant cheats. But we're talking about Valve here. I mean, they fucking own Steam. They get a % off of every transaction, not even just on the Steam market, but every game. I mean, it's a private company with, you know, a secret equity, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like one of the richest private companies on the planet. Say what you want about what they're doing with their money, but it's a fact that they are fucking rich, and they don't need money from a free game getting repurchased after someone gets banned. And then you go into the whole category of comments about how I'm sponsored by Valve or I work for Valve, and, well, first, I'm just not. Pretty sure I'd have to tell you. But I think it does speak to a broader issue in the community. I kind of touched on this before in a previous video towards the end, but everyone just wants to hate the game for a lot of reasons. But most of all, just because hate brings people together. It creates like a little sub-community of people that have like-minded thoughts. And because they hate it, they express those thoughts. So it's just a bunch of people expressing themselves in a little community they've built of hatred. And, you know, people want that in life, so go have that little thing. But for them, the thought that someone could make a Hopecore video about Counter-Strike just blew their minds. No, I just love the game. Genuinely. I still do. It's a great game. Fantastic game. Amazing rhythm. But I also love the community, 99% of it, and, I just want this place to grow towards something better. Now, off the topic of schizophrenic comments, this guy, Pavlovant, 4054. This guy's a chill-ass dude. He's also smart. He left a nice comment, but we've had the whole back and forth exchange in one of my previous comment sections, and I told him I do agree with him. I mean, the things that he says are valid. Basically, I'll summarize it. Putting so many hours in Counter-Strike is a waste, in that there are far better things you could put your life or put your time into, building something real. For instance, he gave examples of coding or science or later even arts. And yeah, I told him I agree with him. I mean, those things would be better investments of your time than Counter-Strike, surely. I also believe that he's kind of positioning 10k hours in Counter-Strike and 10k hours in coding as binaries, that if you just gave up on video games, you would automatically reinvest that time optimally, and I don't believe that to be the case. Perhaps if all of these top 1000 FACEIT players just quit playing Counter-Strike, they just work at McDonald's. And I'm trolling a little bit, but yeah, I mean, that was the essence of that back and forth. But now that I've had some time to think about it, I think he did miss the overall point of the video. And why do we keep playing Counter-Strike? Well, my thesis of why do we keep playing Counter-Strike is because it's a difficult thing and we want to get better, because it's existentially rewarding to get better at something that's difficult. And if you've lost the love for the game, then all you need to do is just remind yourself of why it's rewarding, because you have the ability to get better. So just get better. Now, on face value, that looks like, hey, just go play video games. But is it not just a metaphor for life? I mean, some other commenters picked up on it. That general philosophy that things feel good, life is good when you're getting better at something. I mean, it's universal. It's not just a Counter-Strike thing. And so that's an example of what I want to do with the channel, is speak to Counter-Strike players in the language that they understand, but, drop some little hidden jewels in there. I'm like a children's story writer, like George Washington cutting down the tree. The European watchers will not get that reference. Anyway, Pavlovant, I fuck with you. Sorry that I put your comment in the video. And so wrapping this section up, what I'm really getting at is that I'm gonna make weird shit, creative things on various topics, but use Counter-Strike as my reference point. If I have some abstract thought like perfection is a more precise ghost, what does that mean? Well, I bet I could make you understand if I spoke in the language of Counter-Strike, because I, like many of you, have spent much of my life playing Counter-Strike, but I also have other interests that are pretty rare, and the intersection of all those interests allows me to articulate and create videos that people might want to watch. So if I leave you with anything, if you want better, longer, and more frequent content, then you gotta like, comment, and subscribe. I'm playing, but yeah, so once I am able to generate money from this, I will 100% dedicate myself to uploading the highest quality shit YouTube has ever seen. Counter-Strike YouTube, at least. I'll make a video like this every now and then. I mean, maybe if you guys like this one, I'll make another, but just to touch base with you guys, give a little update, some context, some background, and I'll keep the main videos a separate thing that is being worked on. I don't know how often I'll be able to release high quality content, but as I said, it might become more frequent, depending on the success, of course. So I have no idea if this is watchable. Like, I really don't know. In my mind, there has to be an edit like every 5 seconds, or else, all the TikTokers will just click off. Maybe I should add more sound effects next time. I'll eventually need to find a consistent style for uploads where I feel creatively accomplished, but also a way to not just stare at the timeline for too long trying to make something, because that does happen. I mean, I say I put a lot of effort and time into the videos, but most of it is just staring at the timeline like, damn, what can I fill this space with? That shit's hard. But I've also come to the realization that maybe the majority of viewers on Counter-Strike YouTube watch content while deathmatching, or alt-tabbed, or on a second monitor. Basically just ways of interacting with the videos that are not fully visual. And so maybe the most common type of video one should upload would be one that is dominated or engaged with at its full capacity just by listening, and the visual element would just be the cherry on top. So let me know in the comments. Is someone gonna tell you that? Is that like 4 times asking for comments? But no, for real, if this type of upload or this type of video is something that is inherently like passable as a YouTube video and that you like watching it, then let me know, because I can start making more of these type of videos in between longer, higher effort uploads. And it would be great. It would drive up my watch time, bring me one step closer towards monetization, getting that money. but also just practice, because I will admit, I think the weakest element of my videos thus far has been the delivery. And I mean, honestly, like, I speak great in real life. Like, I don't know. It's just just not comfortable yet talking into a mic. But yeah, just need more practice. Just need to yap more. And, you know, speaking of yapping, there's about a minute left of this game. And, I don't know, I just feel kind of wrong to end the video before it's over. I mean, who knows, they might make a comeback. Well, I mean, you know, shout out my ex, Alia. You know, she randomly messaged me, like, she said, "Are you going viral on YouTube?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Why do you ask?" He's like, "I don't know." So anyway, that's kind of crazy, because, I mean, I didn't go viral, but she also had no idea I was doing YouTube. I dated her, like, years and years ago, so, you know, shout out her. You shout out my homie, Nathan. You know, it's kind of funny, just a random observation is that, you know, like, all of my friends that I've made on Counter-Strike, if they're white, they're, like, 6'4", and an E-boy, and the other category is just, like, Noens from San Jose, and all of them are rich. I don't know why, but I think I've come to the conclusion that if you're an adult and you play Counter-Strike, you're either like about to die or you're a trust fund baby, because there's no way that you could dedicate that much time, you know, after high school to playing Counter-Strike if you're not one of those two. Alright, well, thanks for watching.